everyone, so I'm stopping by tonight to share a card that I made using Waffle Flower's new group hug stamp set. This is an absolutely adorable stamp set. It has a bunch of little critters that are in an embrace, and the sentiment says, sending some hugs your way. And it's just perfect if you need to send an encouragement card or a thinking of you card to someone. One thing that I wanted to point out is that the Waffle Flower stamps and dies are ready to go. So the dies are already all cut out for you. They have their own magnetic backing, and they have their own nice reusable plastic pouch. So you can put your dies in one side of the pouch and then your stamps on the other, and then you're ready to go. So there's no need to have your own magnetic backing or plastic covers or labels. It's all done for you with the Waffle Flower packaging, which I think is awesome. So let's get to coloring. So we're gonna use Copic markers to color in the critters on the card as well as the background. I love Copic coloring my cards. I especially love making single layer Copic cards on, at the end of a work week like it is for me now. It's a Friday night and I did this as soon as I got home from work, and it was just a really, really nice way to de-stress from the work week. Just kind of, the image was already stamped. I didn't have to do any masking. It was just one big cute little scene, and all I had to do was stamp it and then sit down and color it, and it was just so nice and relaxing. So that's another thing that I love about this stamp set. So for the giraffe, we're going to use some yellow and yellow red Copic markers to color in his little fur, and then for his spots and his snout, we're going to use some browns in the E20 family. And then for the little fur, I guess, or his mane. Do giraffes have manes? Not sure what that's called, but the little hair, I guess, that's sticking up off of his body. So I use the E20s for that too. For the cute little doggy, we're going to color him in with some cool grays so that he looks like he's a dark gray dog. For the little sheep, we're going to use some warm grays, and we're going to blend our warm grays together so that it gives the illusion that the little sheep is nice and fluffy and soft and just sweet and cute and adorable. For his face, I'm still using some warm grays, but just in darker tones. And then for his little horns, we're going to use some E40s. There's also this cute little bird in the group hug, which I didn't notice until I sat down and started coloring the image. He's so cute, so I decided to color him blue just so that there'd be a little bit of contrast between him and the other critters, and also just to give a pop of color to the scene, because otherwise the critters are all colored in different shades of gray and brown and orangey tones. So it was a chance just to bring a little bit of color into the scene. So now we just finished up the raccoon, and for the raccoon, we use the same cool grays that we use for the dog. So for this bear, I decided to make him kind of like I think that's a bear. I made him kind of a light brown color using my markers in the E50 range. Just coloring in the tail on the raccoon because I forgot to do so the first time. And then we're gonna color in the little bunny, and we're gonna use some E30s for the bunny. And then that is going to do it for all the little critters. And then for their background, I'm just gonna surround them in a little halo of BG000. And then I'm gonna blend it out with some BG70 so that it goes almost to the end of the page. And the look I was going for, I wanted it to look like maybe they're up sitting on a nice fluffy cloud somewhere, but I wanted it to have like a little bit of a soft magical feel to it. So that's why I was coloring in the background that way. So now I just am embossing the sentiments onto some black cardstock using white embossing powder. For some parts of the sentiment, we're just going to stamp it directly onto the card using black VersaFine ink. So the sending some and then hugs, we're also, sending some and then your way, we're going to just stamp directly on the card base. And then for hugs, that's going to be the part that we add in its own layer. So I'm also going to add some little highlights and details here. So I'm going to put some little spots on the giraffe spots, just to make him look a little bit interesting looking. I'm gonna do the same thing to the sheep, just add some little white highlights here and there. I also took a black glaze pen and colored in the eyes on the giraffe, and then the nostrils, and then the noses on the little critters. So the black glaze pen would not have worked on the other critters because their eyes are closed and the pen would have been too thick and it would have made them look weird. So the only time the black glaze pen trick works to make a critter's eyes pop is if they're just like round, if they're just tiny little circles and you just dot your pen. So I thought I'd add a couple hearts too. These hearts are contained in the stamp set, and I just kind of placed them around the card base, added some white highlights, and then applied the hugs part of the sentiment. So there it is. There's our little group hug card, and it says sending some hugs your way. And I just finished everything off by applying some glossy accents to the hearts. So that's it for this evening, everyone. I hope that you are all off to a great weekend. I hope you get to make lots of cards and do lots of relaxing and spend lots of time with your families. I will see you again in the next video.